Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Rosh from the Poor Millennial Mom, and this channel is all about cash stuffing, budgeting, and debt repayment. I am a single mom on a journey to paying off $89,000 of credit card and student loan debt. So if you'd like to join me on that journey, I would love to have you. Alright guys, it is time for the February budget. This budget's a little interesting. So February is my birthday. I'm planning a little bit of a party because I'm turning 30 and I'm super excited. But it's also a little bittersweet. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's start with my income. As per usual, my part-time job, I have an income, my full-time job gives me an income of $2,083 paid bi-weekly. From my part-time job, I'm estimating somewhere around $600, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then also my freelance political stuff, I'm estimating about $400. I mean, there's a little bit of a delay on the paychecks, and right now for the pay period ending on I think it's February 10th, I'm already on track to make $200, so we'll see if I keep that up through February. Child support, as per usual, is $250. And then my benefits are $774 this month. So $491 in child tax, and then $283 in Alberta family child, whatever the heck it's called, which is a provincial benefit. I've also filed to have my child tax adjusted because the kids are with me more now, which entitles me to a higher amount of the benefit. Previous to this, the kids, Dad and I had 50-50 custody, so he got, the way they calculated is whatever your full entitlement is, you'd get half of that for 50-50 custody. So I filed to have that changed. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I suspect I'm going to have to submit a lot of paperwork, but we will see. So, for those of you who are not familiar with my budget, I have 5 categories: must pay, variable, debt repayment, sinking funds and savings, and nice to have. So we're going to work our way through the categories as we go, and I will explain them. Okay, so of course, the first is the must pay. This is the category of things that I absolutely must pay every single month to keep my life on track. So this includes rent of $875, groceries of $400, internet of $60, utilities of $200, although I do have to bump that up. But I have a buffer in my utilities right now, so I'm going to leave that for now. Phone of $65, insurance of $270, tuition for my kids' private school, that's $300, my monthly bus pass, which is $39 because I qualify for a low-income pass, my Fido MasterCard minimum payment of $75, my RBC Visa minimum payment of $238, and then my Tangerine minimum payment of $75. I worked my minimum payments into my must pay because previously I had them in a different category, and I think this just makes more sense because they are things I have to pay. And as the minimum payments go down as well, the numbers in here will go down because, the more you pay down your credit card, the lower your minimum payment goes. So we'll see. Okay, so that makes my total for my must pay to $2,597 and leave me with $1,510. So then we're going to move into variable. Now variable is interesting. I only have 2 categories in here because I budget for my food and other stuff like that. Personal, I send $25 a week to a spending bank account, like a checking account, and that's kind of my spending money for the month, or the week, or whatever. And it's kind of a way for me to be able to spend a little bit of money without feeling like I'm blowing my budget, and it allows me to save money if I'm saving up for something, so it just kind of works for me. And then miscellaneous is my little miscellaneous cash envelope that I keep with me in my wallet. I generally have about $500 in cash in that envelope because I have never come across any sort of emergency in my life where I need more than $500 in cash and don't have access to my bank cards. So Yeah, so that brings us for our variable envelopes to $250, leaving us with $1,260. And for debt repayments, I'm going to be putting $300 towards my debt snowball of my RBC card, because my RBC card is the one with the highest balance and the highest minimum payment. So I want to start bringing that down until the minimum payment is below $200, just because, I don't know, that one, I feel like none of my money is going towards the actual payments. And as soon as I pay it, the interest hits and I feel like I've made no difference. So we're going to focus on that one for the time being until I feel like I'm comfortable with where it's at, and then we can focus on some other ones. I hope that makes sense. Okay, next, of course, is sinking funds and savings. So sinking funds and savings, I'm putting money away for certain things. So travel, for example, is getting 25, and that is because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm turning 30 and my sister is taking me on a trip for my 30th birthday. So I'm putting some money away for spending money on that trip. We're going to the East Coast, which has such a high cost of everything. It's like 18% tax. I'm in Alberta. Our tax is 5%, so a 13% increase in everything is a lot. So I'm trying to tuck some money away for that. Christmas, Christmas is a savings goal of $800, and I've already hit $525 in January because I had some leftover Christmas money that I rolled over. So we're going to fill Christmas up. So $275 is going to go into there, and that will hit the goal, and I will be done saving for Christmas. And it's only February, so that is spectacular. Health is going to get $75. This one's a sinking fund, and I use it for anything that isn't covered by my insurance. Although my insurance is a whole different saga right now, and I need to build up my health account again because I had to use it to buy new glasses and pay for a prescription, and it was just a lot. Car is going to get $25 because that's what car gets. I'm saving up for some driving lessons, and that's kind of what that's for. 10% challenge is empty because what was happening is I was taking 10% of my net pay, putting it into 10% challenge, and using that to build up my emergency fund. I have now fully funded my emergency fund of $2,000. That being said, I may bump it up to $3,000 or $4,000 depending on how life goes in the next little while. But that means that I no longer am taking that 10% money and putting it into emergency, so I reallocated it into different areas here to hit those other savings goals. While I know some people think that I should be putting that money towards credit cards, in my case, I find that I use credit cards to make up the shortfall in savings a lot of the time. So if I focus on putting money into savings, then I will be less likely to use my credit card when I don't need to for things like dentist office or a trip or whatever. So that's kind of my reasoning here for not putting as much into my credit card and putting more into my savings. Gifts is a new one. I'm going to put $100 into that one because I like giving gifts. I like buying people presents. I have a lot of milestone birthdays coming up this year, like my own at the end of February. My aunt's is like 4 days later, then my daughter's, and then we have a little bit of a break. Yay. And then my son is turning 10 in September. So like lots of milestones, lots of round numbers. And so it's just, I'm trying to save up for that now so that I can spoil the people in my life that I love, And then the last one here is investing. So I put $100 a month or $25 every Monday into my tax-free savings account, which I have with Wealthsimple. And I use that money and invest. So Wealthsimple allows you to buy partial shares. So I buy partial shares of dividend-paying stocks, and then I reinvest those dividends. So right now that account is at about $6,700. My goal is to have it at $10,000 by the end of the year, if possible. But because I never started saving for retirement in my 20s, I am very, very slowly starting that process now, and it is slow going. So Once I'm debt free, I'm really hoping to accelerate that and max out my TFSA and max out my RRSP and just like start saving money so that I can retire and not live a terrible life. Anyways, the total in sinking funds and savings comes to $600, and that leaves us with $360. So we are going to our very last category. That is nice to have. So nice to have is the category that I would cut out of my budget if I had to. However, they're all things that are nice to have. They're things I like having. Household, for example, I don't put anything into because like my house has what it needs. I am an established adult at this point, and I don't really buy decor items. I don't really change things. I don't buy decorations, so we're good there, although we are planning on moving, so I may need to start putting money into household so we can buy like boxes and save for movers and that kind of thing. Accepted society, I know I waffle on this one. I'm keeping it because I did start an online program and having that accountability is really valuable for me. Instant ink is $10. This gets reimbursed through work, so I pay it and then they pay me back when I send in my expense report because I do a fair bit of printing. Disney is $9. I think it might have gone up to $10. This is shared with my parents and my sister, and they do a lot for me, so the least I can do is pay for their Disney subscription. Also, I have little kids. We love Disney in this house. Amazon. Again, this is for my Amazon. I have a student account through Amazon, so I pay $5 a month for Prime, and that includes Prime Video, so my dad can watch his whatever it is he watches on Prime Video. Spotify, again, I have a student account for Spotify until I think next December. $5. I work on a computer, y'all. I like listening to music every day, all day. Also having an existential crisis to music. It's quite a lot of fun. And then Kindle Unlimited. So one of my resolutions for 2023 was not to buy books because I have a lot of books and I read a lot of books and I buy books and I put them on my shelf to look pretty and I don't read them. So Kindle Unlimited lets me take books out on my iPad, and that way I can read them on my iPad and return them. And I'm not buying physical books and I'm still getting my reading fix, so that's what that one's for. I mean, over the course of the year, it's going to be like $120, which, like, let's be honest, that's 4 hardcover novels. So if I read more than 4 books, it has paid for itself. And then last is convenience. So convenience, I'm a busy mom and I don't have a car. And so there are times where sometimes it's easier for me to take an Uber because I'm running late and I need to pick my kids up from a friend's house or something, or I have a show at work, or I'm running late through no fault of my own, like my ex-husband is late picking the kids up and now I need to rush to get to work. So that's why that convenience category is in there. I don't necessarily need it, but sometimes stuff happens. Same thing with like ordering takeout and stuff. Again, busy mom, I have health issues, my partner has health issues, I work 3 jobs. Sometimes a girl just needs to order some pizza and get through the day, you know? So that's what that is. And the total for that is $169 every month, leaving me with $191 left over. And if we come down here to my total expenses minus total income minus total expenses, income was $4,107, expenses is $3,916, and it leaves me with $191. And I don't like zeroing out my budget because I find there are always things that come up. And so I want a little bit of a buffer in my banking just to deal with that sort of stuff. But that does it for this budget. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you gained something from this. If you are interested in this budget sheet, you can check out the link down below to buy it on my Etsy shop. And I would love your feedback and your comments, but please keep in mind, this is a positive space. Personal finance is personal, and what I choose to budget and what you choose to budget may be very different, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!